There are two focal points in this painting, depending on the viewer's background and perhaps his or her emotional quotient. He or she can see the touching scene between two boys or a father and son scene first before seeing everything else. For me, it was the scream hanging on the wall. Let's start with my focal point. It is interesting that the screen painting is not a canvas or print reproduction. The shape and color around the painting looks like an echo bag that is hanging on the wall for whatever reason. Closing in the screen are windows or doors with glass on their panel. We see a beige and white scene outside which do not have any semblance of reality as there's no beige sky. The white might be snow transporting the scene in the west, so we are not seeing necessarily Filipinos in the Philippines, but OFWs, balikbayan, or immigrants, but they can be any nationality. Maybe they're brothers, cousins, or father and son. I can't tell for sure as the one with the baseball cap looks a bit youthful to have a son of that age, unless he's a teenage father. But the relationship between the two is beside the point. It is pointed that it is the younger consoling the older. His hand is on the elbow of the older, whose both arms are raised to his head looking down. Something has happened to send the older guy to emotional distress, and it is the innocence of a child that we hope will console him and make him see that it's not the end of the world. The kid has the same orange shade on his shirt as that in the screen, but seeing it on his shirt, it doesn't represent the gloom and doom in the screen painting, but the sunshiny association we have of the orange color. Mark Rainier Salcedo gives us a sequel showing the older figure being comforted by the love and concern of the child. His eyes are still sad, but we can almost see him smiling, even though we may not see his mouth. It is covered by the hands of the child. They are positioned as if he is stretching the corners of his lips upwards to make him smile. Behind them is another echo bag with a starry night design. This is a household that is into famous arts. They do not invest or perhaps cannot afford a canvas or print reproduction, so they make do with a functional echo bag. I don't think it's a coincidence that Salcedo had the scream earlier and Starry Night here. The paintings are not just cheap wall decorations, but it is Salcedo juxtaposing his scenes with the themes and life stories of the famous artists. Salcedo used Munch's scream to visually show us the inner turmoil of the older figure. It's a comparison, but it's a different case with Starry Night. Van Gogh did not escape his depression, which ultimately led him to cut off his ear and later to shoot himself in the stomach. Seeing the hope in the older figure's eyes, we are hopeful that he will not suffer the same fate as Van Gogh. Van Gogh, for all the love and support his brother Theo had for him, still felt alone. But not our older figure. He has the child. But that's not the end of the story. Salcedo paints us a different view outside the window. It's no longer the odd beige sky and white structure making us guess what it's supposed to be. The two figures are in a different room, albeit with the same wall paint colors. We deduce that from the window view. We might be just looking at their neighbor's house, or it can be a symbol of the long life ahead of one of the figures. By painting a portion of the American Gothic painting, Salcedo shows us one of the two figures will live to his old age. The scene we are looking at now, whatever the problem the two are facing, had passed. Not only did it pass, they survived. Being positive amidst trial is essential. Art therapy is also essential. Art is essential.